Joyce returns this weekend. We're covering it live. We're going to be here. Filip Hrgovic. Is that a tougher fight? More entertaining fight than Dillian Whyte?
It's definitely tougher. Well, it's difficult to say because last time we saw Hrgovic, he was beaten by Dubois. But saying that he was beaten on facial cuts, he wasn't beaten on... And that was after him.
And he landed some clean shots on Dubois.
Clean? Bro, that was the first fight that made me think, yeah, Dubois psychologically challenged. Yeah. Because this guy literally just... I don't think his mind registered that he was getting punched.
The problem with Dubois is he got punched by Hrgovic and his mind registered the punches months later and he had to pull out the next one. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Like, do you know what I mean? Do you see his video about being back?
Yo, my days, that was one of the maddest.
Who lets him talk? Bro, they should just do, what's the little puppet thing, bro? Someone should just, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
why don't you just do a written...
Yeah, 100%.
Written report or written message. Bro.
I would actually be happy to see Frank sit next to him and talk and Dubois just sit there and smile and nod. I think that would be the best thing for...
Facts.
As soon as he talks...
Facts.
It's over.
Yeah, it's kind of mad still. Who would want to pay to listen to this guy talk?
100%. But listen, Joyce is back. Hrgovic, you were saying, tougher, potentially a tougher fight than Dillian Whyte.
I think it should be a tougher fight.
He's been at a higher level more recently than Dillian Whyte. We didn't really know where Dillian Whyte was at. He's been fighting in Portugal or Malta, or he loves them European.
Yeah, but you obviously know why. We don't need to go into this circumstance. You obviously know why. But Hrgovic should be a tougher fight. I actually think going into the Dylan fight, I actually thought it was a genuine 50-50.
Yeah.
Because I thought seeing Joyce lose to Chisora, I was like, raw. I was kind of surprised by that.
I was there live for that one.
Exactly. So now Hrgovic, I actually pick Hrgovic to beat Joyce. I'm not sure where Hrgovic is in his career, but I kind of pick Hrgovic to beat Joyce. And if that's the case, I mean...
Joyce is too hittable. They're both hittable, but Joyce is way too hittable. And before, he relied a lot on his chin, and that chin seems to have dissipated.
Trust me. I mean, he had the...
He's been stopped 3 times now?
Twice against Zhang, and then he also got dropped heavily against Chisora. So... Yeah, I mean, I can't see a way in which... I mean, obviously, I can see a way in which Joyce wins. Obviously, has he fought more recent? Because he fought Chisora. When was that? Last year as well.
Last year, yeah.
So, I mean, Hrgovic we haven't seen since last year as well. I mean, it's very difficult to say. I think the overall fight itself, it's not got the same buzz to me as... It's not
a domestic dust-up.
No, anymore. Because it's Dylan, innit? With Dylan, you cannot always... You're always there for the vibes, innit?
Yeah.
Like, Dylan's there, just... He kind of brings the vibes. He's entertaining character, He's entertaining character. Also in the ring, he's also entertaining. I think Hrgovic, if he does win, I think Hrgovic is looking at this fight as just, get a win and just get back on get some momentum.
Yeah.
And I think Joyce is also looking at it from the same perspective. So, whereas Dylan's just looking at it's just a vibes thing for Dylan, isn't it?
Dylan and Joyce is both Dylan needs a name that we know. I mean, the last couple of fights he's had since coming back from his issues, he's fighting a man that we don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
I mean, one was Ebenezer Tete, journeyman, and another one was Christian Hammer, again another journeyman. So
I didn't even realise Christian Hammer was still fighting.
Yeah, at that time I thought he was done.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, this week an exciting undercard as well. We're going to be covering it live.
The undercard was actually supposed to be even more exciting because it was supposed to have Richard Riakko versus Lawrence Okoli, which that would have been a good... Well, that wouldn't have been a good fight, but it was 2 good names.
I'm not too bothered about that because the fight would have been shit. The fight was always going to be shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that would have been like trying to watch Madonna whine. Like, it just would have been horrible. It would have been a horrible watch. Do you know what I'm saying? So... Richard,
man, that you said Madonna result.
Of course, do you know what I'm saying? That's do you know what I mean? You're in, like, it's what it is. But it's the build up to that fight is great. They're both entertaining characters. But Okoli has a terrible habit of his build ups for fights being far more entertaining than his fights themselves.
Well, the thing is, for someone of Lawrence Okoli's ability, he's been in some marquee fights. Remember, he was in a Bournemouth fight with Billam Smith. That was in a stadium fight.
When you say marquee, again, they're marquee because of the promotion.
Yeah, it was built up. It was built up. I don't mean the actual fight itself.
That's what I'm saying. His fights never deliver. So I'm no longer excited by, even with him moving to heavyweight, I'm probably even less excited. I'm not by, I don't know that the power even translates. He'd be quite a small framed heavyweight.
I mean, did you see him in his last fight?
Horrible.
He looked, when you said small frame, bro, I don't know, he must have found his dad's body, bro. Man had a big old overbelly hanging over his shorts. It's mad, fam.
Yeah, Lawrence Okolie, I'll be honest, I've lost interest in him. I have no interest in him.
What do you predict for Hrgovic, Joe Joyce?
I predict 70% Hrgovic.
How do you think he's going to win?
Stoppage.
I think Hrgovic stoppage as well.
I just don't know if Joe Joyce has it in him to dig deep. What's he fighting for? He can't. He's nowhere near the world table. If the fight gets really tough, the only thing that might save him is that him and Daniel Dubois have the same intellect level. But other than that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Joe Joyce's brain is still dialing up on AOL. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's long. So
But you know what? I actually think it's weird because I think Hrgovic is the same. I just think he's just got less miles on the clock. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think he's got more ego.
Bro, how much of that ego was dented when he lost to Dubois though?
But the loss to Dubois, like you say, it's cuts and stuff. He didn't look for an easy place. Man still say that Dubois quit against Usyk.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Dubois is people feel like he quit. People feel like Joyce's chin is just gone. He's been beaten by lesser and lesser and lesser opponents. Hrgovic ain't got any of those things. He was beaten by cuts. And we now, with Dubois knocking out AJ the way that he did, we're looking at that Hrgovic, the Dubois loss for Hrgovic and saying, actually, it's aged kind of as well as a loss can age. That's what I'm saying.
Point, because he was actually winning the early parts of that fight. He did get excited.
Well, I don't think it's going to dent him like the same way that AJ would have been dented the way he lost to Ruiz, or the way that AJ would have been dented when he lost to Dubois. So there's a real dents. Joe Joyce losing to Chisora where he did. No one thought Chisora. No one thought Chisora was going to win. That's a real dent in his the loss to Zhang. Real dent twice. Twice. Do you know what I'm saying? So that I don't think that Hrgovic is as dented as a boxer, miles on the clock, all that kind of stuff.
It's disappointing because they fought each other in the amateurs, Joe Joyce and Hrgovic, and they both came through the amateurs with great amateur pedigree. And when they first came through, you would have probably thought that they would be fighting at world title level. When you thought about the next crop of heavyweights coming through, whether it was Dubois, Joe Joyce, Hrgovic, specifically after Dubois lost to Joe Joyce, you'd have thought the next crop, them two would have been taking over the baton from Fury, Usyk, AJ. But they're fighting now to more save their career. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Joe Joyce turned pro really late, didn't he? Like he turned pro very, very late. He was initially, I think maybe our first red flag should have been the fact that I think he was originally managed or promoted by David Adeleye when he turned pro. So that was the first that was a red flag. Do you know what I mean? Eddie's looked at you, said, "No, I'm good." Frank's looked at you, said, "No, I'm good." David Hayes going to pick you up. That for me is do you know what I mean? No, I'm being serious. I'm being so real. You
know what's so mad as well? Because when he first came and turned pro, they were trying to match him up against Chisora. Like his first few, and it was like mad. When you look at what old Chisora done to him, it's kind of mad, bro. But
young Chisora would have probably just put a stop to the whole show.
Trust me.
So I don't know how long we'll see Joe Joyce for. If he loses badly, I don't know. This is probably it. I don't know where he goes from here. We've got David Adeleye on the undercard. We've got we've got some good fights on the undercard. So we'll be covering it live. We'll be covering it live on this channel on OnlyFacts Sports. So Saturday night, make sure that you lock in. We'll be live in the day for the Saka Sexuals Arsenal against Everton in the early kickoff as well. So I mean, Shane's got me working. Shane's playing Slave Master. I've got me working.
I'm live for the boxing.
You coming early for the football?
No. I can't do that.